Hate is a strong word, but for this list, it's warranted. Welcome to Where Are They Now? I'm Nate, and these are the top 10 most hated celebrities in Hollywood. Number 10, Russell Brand. This man has been slowly exposing himself to the public over the years. His chaotic energy has just gotten worse and worse as time's gone on. This guy has gone down in history as being one of the worst Video Music Awards hosts ever, but nowadays he's going down in history for being an absolutely terrible person. 4 women have come forward alleging that Russell mistreated them verbally and physically between the years of 2006 and 2014, arguably the height of his career. Brand strongly denies the allegations, and in a video that he himself has posted, claimed that he was promiscuous, but all relationships were consensual. One of the women who came forward claimed that Russell had started a relationship with her in 2006 while she was still in high school and he was 30. Anybody else need sanitizer? Apparently they met when Russell bumped into her at a shopping center and proceeded to search/critique her purchases. According to the woman, the relationship was meant to be anonymous, with Russell asking her to just straight up lie to her parents, even writing her a script to keep things smooth. Another woman alleged similar behavior in 2007, but added that he had a massive temper, becoming physical with her a few times. Several more women have spoken out about their situations with Brand, all of which were eerily similar and showed that he has a pattern of some serious mistreatment. He will probably deny the allegations until the day he passes away, but we're confident it's going to be a pretty rough year for this guy. Number 9, Shia LaBeouf. Shia has been a controversial celebrity over the years, becoming famous as one of the hardest people to work with in Hollywood history. Like many bad apples in LA, Shia got his start on the Disney Channel. At the turn of the century, Disney released a little show called The Even Stevens, spanning 3 seasons and spawning an Even Stevens movie that's still one of the greatest pieces of cinema Disney has ever made. Following the show's end, Shia kept his acting career going pretty strong, appearing in the much-loved classic Holes as the main character Stanley Yelnats, but it wasn't until his casting in Transformers that he began to descend into madness. Since 2007, Shia's behavior as both an actor and as a person has been getting worse and worse. His fellow actors have reported that he takes method acting way too far and smells really bad on set sometimes, not to mention the several public art displays that he's gifted the world in the mid-2010s and so on. I mean, who could forget his passionate motivational video where he told us that nothing was impossible and we could do it? Then in the late 2010s, he was accused by an ex of doing some truly terrible things that he himself has called deplorable and disgusting. He still acts in independent films and is slowly making his way back to the mainstream, but his reputation will always be tainted. Number 8, Oprah Winfrey. Who would have guessed that the lady who's famous for handing out cars on her talk show is being cancelled by everybody? Why? Well, it's apparently because Oprah made the career-ending mistake of asking poor people to give her money when she's a billionaire. Last week, Oprah and The Rock announced that they would be starting a relief fund for the Maui wildfires. The People's Fund of Maui was given $10 million to get off the ground. $10 million that was donated by Oprah and Dwayne combined. So why is it just Oprah that's getting so much hate? Well, it's because she has a net worth of $2.8 billion. Billion with a B. That's a big number. The world is collectively furious at Oprah for having the audacity to ask working class citizens for charity when most people can barely afford to put food on their table. The Rock and Oprah donated $5 billion each to give to the fund, which is great, but guess what? $5 million to Oprah Winfrey is like $50 to us. That's not a lot. It's chump change. Oprah addressed all the hate online, telling the Daily Mail that she was disappointed in the reaction from the world. Rather than focusing on good things and the people of Maui, the world was just mad that she asked them to give her a nickel. Oprah has yet to confirm if she will be donating any more money to the fund, but so far it's not looking good. Number 7, James Franco. James placed himself in a little bubble of public exile when he used his powers for evil. The man behind some iconic characters like Tommy Wiseau or Harry Osborn in the original Spider-Man trilogy had seemed like he was on the way to a long, successful career, especially following multiple collaborations with longtime friend Seth Rogen, as well as his turn in more serious roles like True Story alongside Jonah Hill. Apparently though, James has a problem with keeping his hands to himself, especially when it comes to his acting students. In 2018, 5 female students at a Studio 4 acting school in North Hollywood told the Los Angeles Times that Franco had used his position to exploit them physically. 2 of those women sued, and Franco was forced to settle outside of court and fork over $2.23 million. Now at the time, he was writing acting and directing a show for HBO called The Deuce, which he was allowed to stay on and finish because it was being cancelled anyways. Not only did fans call for the cancellation of his series, and it worked, but the public outcry forced Seth Rogen to drop his longtime pal, telling the Times of London that this scandal had changed their relationship forever and that he had no plans on collaborating with James anytime soon. Number 6. Amber Heard. Now, when it comes to hated celebrities, Amber Heard is at that tippy top of the list. Now, while she may have slowed down in terms of work in recent years, she came out relatively unscathed from this whole public trial thing. While her counterpart, Johnny, suffered some serious consequences, Amber is still working. In fact, a new trailer was just released for a film called In the Fire. I watched it, and as you can imagine, it is just so cringy. Every time she speaks, all I can hear is that little courtroom drama. It's the exact same voice. Now, if you don't know what happened, she made a ton of accusations against Johnny Depp and lost a court case after most of those stories were proven to be false. She may still be acting, but something tells me that Aquaman 2 is going to be her last big break. Number 5. Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller has been on the acting scene since 2008, first appearing in films such as After School and Perks of Being a Wallflower. They seemed like a pretty normal, functioning person until 2019, when cast and crew started to notice odd behavior. Their attitude on set had shifted from happy to be here to I'm better than you, deal with it. That is my best Ezra Miller voice. They would often wear capes or robes to set that were never part of the wardrobe, and they were reportedly filled with scattered thoughts and motivations, both on and off of the screen. In 2020, a video surfaced of Miller in a violent altercation outside of a bar in Iceland, which would be the first of many videos showcasing the actor's misdeeds, eventually leading to Miller breaking and entering into someone's house in Hawaii of all places. Miller then went on the run from Hawaiian authorities for a little over a week, supposedly squatting in abandoned buildings and sleeping on the beach. They were eventually caught and charged with breaking and entering, as well as aggravated, let's call it swatting, as Miller had apparently gotten into a fist fight before breaking into the house. Two birds, one stone, right? Their behavior on set branded them as odd at first, but that combined with the now several public arrests has landed them on the thinnest ice possible. Heck, the only reason The Flash was released in theaters was so that DC didn't lose millions of dollars, which they still did. Number 4. Jonah Hill. A news article broke earlier this year thanks to his ex-girlfriend Sarah Bradley, showing evidence that Jonah Hill was emotionally damaging towards her during their relationship. The couple first got together in 2021, meeting on the beach because she was a surf instructor, and according to a series of texts between Sarah and Jonah, it's pretty obvious that he's mentally manipulative towards her. He tells Sarah to remove any photos of her surfing from Instagram that showed her bum in a thong, and when she did that, he told her it was a good start but that she didn't seem to get his point. He then told her that it wasn't his place to teach her anything, that he made his boundaries clear, that she refused to let some of the things that he said go, and she's made it clear what she feels and hopes that it made her happy. In another screenshot, Jonah showed his plans and simple conditions for maintaining their relationship, including stating that he didn't want Sarah surfing with men, which was a solid part of her job. He wrote a massive list of boundaries and rules that were clearly him trying to control every little thing she did, and at one point literally saying she can't post pictures of herself in a bathing suit. Jonah is slowly being blacklisted across the board with little to no work coming his way anytime soon. Number 3. Mike Myers. He's Canadian. Number 3. Mike Myers. He's Canadian. He's a comedian. How could this guy be a meanie bo beanie? Well, it turns out it's his default setting. Mike may be well known in the world of Hollywood as being a funny man, but to his fans he's known as short-tempered madman. One experience was shared with the media outlet Mean Stars, in which a fan told the story of running into Mike at a bar, with the experience being as disastrous as the love guru. I'm just kidding, nothing could be that bad. The fan walked up and told Mike that he was a big fan and offered to buy him a beverage, to which Mike replied, "I can afford my own drinks, you a-hole, save the cash for my next movie." That's a good Canadian impression, right? There are several instances both on and off set showcasing how difficult this guy is with people. His co-star Amy Hill claimed that he had handlers dress his entire trailer, and his work area was entirely covered with tenting because he just didn't want anyone to physically see him. Understandable. Messed up suit. Maybe his reputation as a difficult Donnie has something to do with Hollywood seemingly blacklisting him from appearing as a lead in anything until his recent show The Pentaveret aired on Netflix. A show where he was forced to play like half the cast because he couldn't get more people to work with him. Maybe it's that, or maybe it's got something to do with the love guru. It's a bad movie. Number 2, Morgan Freeman. That's right, the voice of God himself. Morgan Freeman has been a soothing soul for many years for many people. To this day, families can hear Morgan narrate the world around them in a 360 IMAX screen at the Science Center. Now, he may be a comfort to some, but according to a few women, Morgan's actually their nightmare. Morgan has been accused of inappropriate behavior on multiple occasions between 1991 and 2015. According to one production assistant from the film Going in Style, which was a bank heist movie with Michael Caine and Alan Arkin, Morgan Freeman subjected her to unwanted touching and comments about her figure and clothing basically every day. Hey, guys, people don't like it when you do that. According to her, in one instance, Freeman attempted to lift her skirt and asked to see her underclothes. Now, she was not the only one to speak out about this. A senior member of production staff on the movie Now You See Me Too told CNN that Freeman harassed her and her female assistant on numerous occasions, making similar comments on figure and clothes. I could go on and on with more examples, but to save some time, I'll boil it down for you. Morgan is creepy, and I'm sorry to say it, but this dude needs to retire as soon as possible. And at number 1, Tom Cruise. Now, while Tom Cruise may be an action movie star and was once a young Hollywood heartthrob, he has had a massive temper since day one, and it shows. According to both former assistants as well as several of his co-stars from Tom's past, Cruise is a regular toddler and is known to throw tantrums on set, being set off by the littlest things. His former manager Eileen Berlin presented Tom with a gift when he was 19. She gave him an album of teen magazine articles written about him, and apparently that set him off. He told his manager that he considered himself to be an adult, not a teen, and then just threw the books right back in her face. Another example of Tom's aggression was on display when he was filming Top Gun Maverick. During this time, Tom and the rest of the film crew were actually tasked with shooting on a real-life aircraft carrier still in use by the military. One of the crew posted on Twitter calling out the audacity of Tom's behavior. He tweeted that Tom was really on their ship telling people not to talk or even look at him. After a few choice words, the crewmate made it very clear that Tom was not welcome aboard their vessel. The more recent and public outburst, though, of course, came when he was on his other sets, but we could talk about all day about how mean Tom Cruise is. Let's just chalk it down to the fact that Tom may still be making movies, with this new Mission Impossible movie being the next one to come out, but it's looking more and more like this Dead Reckoning movie part 2 thing. I don't know, whatever this next Mission Impossible is, it's probably gonna be his last. And those are the most hated celebrities around. Who do you think is a meanie bobini? Well, let us know in the comments below. As always, thank you for stopping by. Where are they now? Please drop a like and follow the channel for more content every day, and we'll see you next time.